Hey guys, I'm HummusMan300. I want to start off by saying I'm sorry. I honestly thought that February vacation would come sooner than it was going to. Unfortunately for me, that wasn't going to happen. So instead of being gone 2 weeks, I'll be gone 3 weeks. But, I'm posting this one video to help you guys make it through that time. This is a video that I made of some of my original characters for the Bionicle series, which ended, and I made the characters because it ended. So I'm going to get into that right now, and I'll let you see what this is all about. I'm going to start off with the island of Garganui. This island is on no maps or charts, and no one even knew it existed until a couple of Matorans sailing from Mata Nui to Metru Nui bumped into the place after losing their sense of direction. All my characters live on this island, and the current around this island is so strong that anyone trying to sail away from it will be pushed back to shore. Deadly Rahi patrol almost every inch of this island, and now ever more dangerous things are arriving. Vahi is my first Bionicle original character that actually worked out pretty well. As his name would suggest, he's the Toa of Time. His spirit was always lingering within the Mask of Time, Kanohi Vahi. When it was banished by Tahunuva, it returned to its former resting place at the bottom of the ocean. It was found much later by a group of Matoran, and it had a Toa attached. No one's sure how the Vahi formed its own body, least of all Vahi himself. Tarok was created when Vezon used the Staff of Fusion to stick 3 Borok together, and then he injected the result with Viscerok venom. He's not just a dumb brute, and he can prove it, if he ever remembers how to count to 10. I'll admit Tarok wasn't the most original of my designs. I mostly based him off of Borok Kal Qaeda, and then, made that with original Borok parts. But those blue things on the back of his head were my idea. This is Mask. A mask arrived on Garganui with the ability to control whoever was wearing it. It was described as, quote, a gray mask that was shaped like an onion that had been tossed into a washing machine, then thrown into an oven, then chucked into a trash compactor, then stolen by rabbits who'd had it down their hole for a couple months, not getting the courage to eat it, and then when it started to smell a little old, dumped it into a river, which led to rabbits and eventually a waterfall. Then somehow from there buried deep underground for 3 million years in a box full of pirate booty. Eventually, Vahi used his power to bring the body of Takua, the Matoran, out of the past. Mask now controls that body. The staff is of unknown origin, but it gives Mask the ability to move objects with his mind. This is Dark Mask. He's a clone of Mask, only evil. It's kind of obvious if you think about it. I guess the only thing he wants is to kill Mask. That's kind of it. This is Targus. Targus is the only surviving member of a civilization of people who banded together on Garganui to protect each other called the Union. He's generally a pretty nice guy, but is there something he's hiding? He works with Vahi and the Matoran. For now. This is Morduk. This one-man investigation team used to work for the Union, but he went crazy with power, creating monstrosities that would terrorize even the vicious Rahi that inhabited Garganui. Targus and some other Union members destroyed his monsters, and he was sealed away for many years in a box of ooze until he was accidentally released by Makuta. This is Tank. Tank was scientifically and genetically engineered by Morduk. He and some of the other freaks made by the whacked scientists banded together. They mostly fight for survival, but occasionally they fight for peace and justice. Tank is the powerhouse of the group, but just because he's mute doesn't mean he's stupid. Beneath that black, shiny, featureless face lies the incalculable genius and caring heart. Too bad he can't communicate. This guy's name is Long, but only because I haven't thought of a better name for him yet. Long is the self-appointed leader of the 3 mutants created by Morduk, although for a leader he isn't very decisive. His left arm has 3 joints, which allows him to wield multiple weapons. His shield is practically impenetrable, and his feet are specially designed to traverse any terrain. This is Raka. Raka was first built to be a mutated Rakshi that only produced shadow product, but was abandoned when Morduk discovered that he was incapable of producing anything. He learns at a rate 10 times faster than anyone else, and he's used this skill to train himself with every weapon imaginable. His die-hard attitude makes him a valuable member of the Band of 3. He won't give up until he knows he's already lost. This is Mecha Matau. This happened when Matau was dragged out of the past by Vahi to help protect the Matoran from the growing evils on Garganui. Soon after that, he was nearly ripped apart by Shotus, a character you'll hear more about later, Reverse engineering Morduk's mutants, Targus and Vahi were able to build him new arms as well as a set of wings. Matel still jokes around like he used to, but he's usually completely serious in combat, using anything he can as a weapon. This is Shodus. Shodus is an interdimensional traveler with no regard for other people whatsoever. The only reason he's even on Garganui in the first place is to take out his anger and violence upon those foolish enough to dare fight him. If you've read the last few comics, you'll know that Makuta is dead. But not so fast. Makuta cloned himself before leaving Barra Magna, and the clone returned to Mata Nui. Unfortunately, the clone miscalculated his directions and crash-landed on Garganui instead. Then, when Makuta died, he became the real Makuta. He continues to work as evil, even if he can't get off Garganui. This is Frax. Frax is one of Morduk's creations that actually worked out the way Morduk wanted him to. Frax can produce Krana and Krata, and can also corrupt masks at will. Morduk sent Frax to destroy his failed experiments, Tank, Long, and Raka. But Frax went rogue and started trying to destroy everyone. Frax is still at large, carefully planning his next move. This guy's called the Thief. This little twerp almost doesn't deserve to be mentioned in this video. He just steals things that are important to people. I never really came up with a name for him, and I didn't come up with a backstory either. No, maybe I should get working on that, huh? This is Vezon. After Vezon thawed out from that last attack, he came to Garganui to gather recruits for an army to destroy the Toa with. On discovering he couldn't leave, however, he decided he would try to destroy everyone on the island instead. That was until Morduk got to him. Morduk's experiments turned Vezon into a shrimpy little twerp. Now Vezon serves Morduk as his assistant, forever plotting his revenge. And this is Zako. A former member of the Union, Zako deserted his comrades in search of a power greater than anyone could have ever imagined. No one believed in him that it was out there, so he set out to find it himself. He's now a servant to that power, bound forever to his weapon. He serves as a hitman of sorts, killing anyone he's told to kill. His newest target is Mask. This is Halkan. One of the many scavenger species left behind from Morduk's first experiments, Halkan in particular is an individual who's developed a certain bloodlust for great masks. Halkan will stop at nothing until there are no masks on the island. This includes Krana and Krata. The Borak call shields he wears are souvenirs from his past victories, although compared to some of the other inhabitants on the island, Halkan is pretty weak. I never come up with a name for this guy, but he was supposedly just some monstrosity that Morduk made. However, if you can come up with a personality for him and a backstory, I'll give you a shout-out! Yay!